Welcome back to Library Choice YouTube channel. Today we'll be learning how to make this beautiful basket weave design. It's very simple to make and it is really beginner friendly. If this is what you would like to learn, kindly stay tuned to the end of this tutorial. Thank you. Okay, so to do this basket design, you will need your basic bodies, or wherever you can put it on your skirt, you can put it anywhere. Wherever it is that you want it to be, you need it. So for me, I'm putting it around the chest area, so I'll be using these basic bodies, and I'll cut it in full because the style requires that I draw a style line. So once I open my basic bodies out, this is what I have. So now for the style, I want it to run from maybe around the midpoint on the shoulder area here up to the armhole area on the other side here. Okay, so that's how I want the design to run. So it's going to run from here through this place, and you can either use your free hand or you use a curve to draw this pattern that you're aiming to get. Okay, so now I'm just going to be using this curve to draw out the pattern. Okay, so I've drawn it out now, and it is this upper side only that I want my basket to be. This will be the normal bodies as usual. Okay, so you can actually cut this out now, or you can draw out your style line before you cut it out. So now I'll be drawing out the style line how I want it to be on the basket, but I won't make it too close together because this is a tutorial and I don't want to waste too much fabric. Okay, so to draw out this style line now, you choose the intervals you want between it. It can be 1 inch, it can be 1.5 inch, but I'm just going to be eyeballing it, and then I'm going to be drawing it like this. Okay, so that is the interval that I want between each of my style lines. So like I said, assuming you are doing this on the hem of your skirt also, you need to draft your full skirt, then you determine where you want this basket design to be on your skirt. So when you want determine it, you map out that area, and then you draw out the style lines that you are willing to follow. Okay, so I have my style line like this. The next thing is for me to cross it like that to form like a weave. Okay, so the next thing now is for me to draw out the diagonal line to form my basket. So like I said, you can choose the intervals that you want between them, but I'm just going to be eyeballing it. So this is what I'm doing now, and then you can see that it's now looking like a box. So you do this. Sorry, I don't have a proper ruler, I'm just using the side that is a bit straight on this ruler. So this is the part that I'll be filling with my fabric to form my basket. Okay, so we have this now. So it is only this upper part that will be like a basket design, while the other parts of the bodies we're going to be using our normal fabric for it. So now to cut out the strands that I'll be using for this basket, I'm going to be cutting a fabric of 2 inches length. Okay, so I've cut out the fabric now. So to fold it, I'm going to fold it like a bias. I'll fold it like this, and then on the other side also I'm going to fold 1/2 inch, and then I'm going to close it up. So that's going to give me like 1 inch, and then I'll sew it on this side. I hope you understand. You fold 1/2 inch on this side, you fold 1/2 inch on this side also, and then you close the 1/2 inch up, and then you sew it. So that was what I did to get my strand, and I have a little bit of it here. So that is what I'll take to my machine now, and then I'm going to sew it. So to sew it now, I'll just cut out my pattern. So when you are cutting this pattern on your fabric, you should know that you had allowance to it. Remember that we are still going to sew it back. So here, this is the basket pattern that I'll be sewing, and this is the rest of the pattern. So when you are cutting this, you had a little allowance here, and then you cut both lining and main fabric so that you can turn the edges neatly, or else you want to top stitch on it. So now I'm just going to set this aside now so that we can work on the basket pattern. So now I'm going to start with the vertical lines. I'm just going to be placing my rope on it like this, and then I will sew on the paper. So I'll go to the machine now, and then I'll start sewing it. I'll place it here and sew. I'll place this one also and sew. So once I am done with the vertical one, I'll bring it back before I do the other one. Okay, so now I've sewn it, the diagonal lines. Now you can see that it has been sewn, and this is what it looks like on the wrong side. So now the next thing for me now is to cross it with this, so you can still see your line. Just the way you sewn this one, you start placing it on it like this, and then you sew it straight like that. You shouldn't remove it from your paper yet. So I'll take it to the machine now, and then sew this straight, and then bring it back to show us. Okay, so I've crossed the other side now. I can see how I sew it, and if you turn it to the other side, you will see it's better. You can see the box is like one each box, and it's consistent. Okay, so this is what I have now. Now you can either pipe the neckline with a bias first, or attach it to the rest of your clothes. Okay, so this is the rest of my clothes. It's looking like a mono strap, and I just placed the pattern on it, and then I used it to cut it and had the left allowance on top of it like this, as you can see. So now to sew it, I'm just going to be placing this. You know it's supposed to be like this, so I'm just going to be placing this against it like this, and then I'm going to sew it from here with the paper. So I prefer to sew it with the paper, so that by the time I finish it, that is when I remove my paper. It becomes easier for me. So now the first thing I'll do now is to pipe this neckline with a bias. Okay, once it's still with the paper, it will be easy for you to pipe. So you just follow the neckline, sew it like this, and then turn it inside, and then you sew it. Then after that, I'm going to be joining the basket part to what I have here. Then I'll bring it back to show us. Okay, so we can see now that the neckline has been piped. I used a black bias so that we will see it well. The neckline has been piped, and also I've sewn the upper part, the yoke, to the main bodies like this. So now, assuming you cut out your lining, you just sew your lining like this. Okay, so let's say this is my lining. Okay, assuming you cut out the line, let's say this is your lining, you just flip it over, and then you sew your lining like this so that it can easily cover these rough edges for you. But I will not be using lining for this. So another alternative, if you are not sewing lining, is that you have to top stitch on this so that all these ropes will not be sticking out. So after doing this, now your dress is ready. The next thing is to carefully start removing your paper. Okay, so now you can remove the paper carefully. So once you remove all the paper, your basket will show very well. So you can see that it's really simple to do this. So if you do this carefully, you can see the one I did now. I'll have to take this back to the sewing machine now to stitch it back. So you just do this carefully so that you don't have to start doing that over and over again. I don't know why my machine is sewing on gathers, so that is why it's not really holding it well for me. Okay, so now I'm removing the paper one after the other, and that is how you are going to do. So you remove all the papers underneath it, as you can see. So you just remove it box by box neatly, and you have to make sure that you take out all the paper that you have underneath it. So now I'll take it off camera now, and then remove all the paper so that this video will not be too long. But you can see what it is looking like on the rock side with the one that we have removed so far. So now take it off camera and remove all this white paper. Okay, so now I've removed all the paper now, and as you can see, it is neat. So you just try to knit it as much as possible. So like I said, if you are not going to be lining this, you can top stitch on this side so that these ones will not be sticking out. So you can see how beautiful and simple it is to make your basket pattern design. You can do this on skirts, and if you're going to be adding a sleeve to this for this basket pattern, the same way we place it, you just draft your sleeve, draw out your style lines, and then you place your straps on it. So I just take this to the mannequin and try to pin it so that I will see what it's looking like. Okay, so this is what our basket sleeve looks like. You can see how lovely this is looking, and this is the style we choose. Like I said in the video, you can decide to choose any style you want. You just need to map out the area and then draw out your style lines, then you place your straps on it. You can see that this is really looking gorgeous and it is very beautiful. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Let us know in the comment section if this was helpful. Give this a like, thumbs up, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.